So we have a lot of Apple news to talk about in this video, so let's just get right into it. The first things first, we have the iPhone 11 namings. There's multiple sources pointing towards this, the iPhone 11 Pro, and we have the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I see Apple calling this, Apple naming scheme for the iPhone is just getting out of hand. They threw me off with the iPhone 10 or the iPhone X, as a lot of people still calling it to this day. That's when they threw me off, but the iPhone getting the Pro naming, I just feel like the iPhone doesn't really deserve the Pro name. I just feel like with the Pro naming, that's aimed for the professionals and the professionals only. iPhones are aimed for the average consumer. But let me know down in the comments down below how you guys feel about Apple calling the iPhone 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max. Now, some sources are saying Apple Pencil will be supported. We say this every year and it just never happens. I don't think Apple will ever have Apple Pencil support. I can't even say never. It's a chance they could, but I just don't see it happening, man. Just the respect for Steve Jobs.
How are we going to communicate this? We don't want to carry around a mouse, right? So what are we going to do? Oh, a stylus, right? We're going to use a stylus. No. No. Who wants a stylus?
I don't think they're going to do that, but I could be wrong. We're going to have fast wireless charging out the box, so it's going to be Type-C to Lightning to enable fast charging. So 30 minutes at 50% and an hour you're going to be at 100%. So Type-C charging is A1, man. I appreciate Apple adding it into the iPhones. It took them long enough, but better late than never, I guess. And have it inside the box, that's going to be a welcome change. But I'm not going to put my money on it, though. Take it for a grain of salt. Because knowing Apple, they might put a 5-watt power adapter in there. Just like this here. So, especially on the XS Max. Come on, Apple. Apple may be removing the iPhone text on back of the phone. Do I have an iPhone to show you guys? This right here. You guys see the iPhone text? That might be gone on the iPhone 11. And I see this happening because looking back at the iPhone 6s, they got rid of the FCC labels. They put the S on there, and then after that, they got rid of that. And then, you know, this is the next option. So now we're going to just see the Apple logo on back of the iPhone 11. But Apple should add an LED on the Apple logo on back of the iPhones, man. That would be so unique. A nice little throwback to the old school MacBook Pros. And even with the MacBook Pros, I hope Apple add that back in because that was just such a unique touch. Now, Apple may be releasing a new color, this green color, maybe to increase the sales because the iPhone 11 is another S upgrade to the iPhone 10. You know, I look at this as the iPhone 7 basically. The iPhone 7 didn't bring as much change from the 6 to the 6S. It's the same phone. This is the same thing with the iPhone 11. So having a new color is a good idea. And I don't know how I feel about it. It just doesn't look good according to these renders. But, you know, once Apple put their little spice to it, it might look actually good. Now, shifting gears to the iPads. Now, we will see a brand new iPad Pro this year, 2019. So we're going to get a triple lens camera setup on the rear on the iPad Pro. And of course, we're going to get that speed boost, that glorious A13X chip. If you thought the iPad Pro 2018 is powerful now, man, Apple's on the road with these processors. And seeing the progression of the A chips, it gets you excited for the brand new MacBook Pro because Apple will be making their own processors on the MacBook lineup or just the Mac lineup in general. I can't wait for them to do that because they in control of the software and the hardware. That's just insane. So I can't wait for the new MacBook Pros, man. I can't wait. But getting back to the iPad, I think they're going to secretly fix the bend gate issue on the iPad Pro. They're going to probably make the frame a little bit more stronger. Shout out to Jerry Rig Everything. He bent the iPad Pro 2018 and it just snapped like a little toothpick.
Structural integrity is still important. And the iPad Pro just doesn't have any of that structural integrity stuff.
So I think Apple's going to make the iPad Pros a bit more durable. Similar to what they did with the iPhone 6s. You know, the whole bend gate issue on the iPhone 6 Plus. They just made the chassis or the frame a little bit more stronger. And if you bought a 2018 iPad last year, this upgrade is not really for you unless you want more power on your iPad. This is just for people who skipped out last year or are afraid of the iPad Pro being bent. this is the time to get an iPad. And going over the budget iPad that's coming out this year also, we're going to get a 10.2 inch iPad. That's the more affordable $330 iPad. I respect Apple for making that one because that's the best selling tablet on Amazon. So anybody can get into the iPad ecosystem with Apple Pencil support. Now let's talk about the Apple Watches. Now last year was a complete redesign, a complete overhaul to the Apple Watch with the Series 4. And it's like, what can Apple do this year on the Series 5? Now, we're not going to see any big design changes, but we will see some new materials such as titanium and ceramic. Now, ceramic we saw before on the Series 2 and 3, but they bringing it back. It's going to be expensive. It's definitely going to be expensive for the ceramic, but the titanium is a little bit weird because this is the first time Apple is using titanium, and that may replace the stainless steel because basically titanium is stainless steel but a little bit more durable, so it's less prone to scratches on the frame. So titanium is a welcome change. And if you have the Apple Card, basically this is made out of titanium. Basically, if you have an Apple Card, this is the Apple Watch. It's the same material that Apple is going to use. But it's also a chance that Apple may just refresh the Series 4, you know, throwing a new processor in there, even though they don't even have to do that because I'm hearing the Series 4 is very, very speedy. They could just add in those new materials and just keep the same old chip in there. I think that's going to have more people buying Apple Watches. If it's the same old Series 4, they're just not going to look at it, you know. So it's the latest and greatest Series 5. That's going to get more people to buy. But Apple, please give us more color options on the aluminum frames. You know, having silver and just space gray is good, classic colors, but why can't we have a red frame Apple Watch aluminum, or even a yellow or orange? Give us the 10R colors. That would be really cool on the aluminum Series 5. That would increase some sales right there. We have a report Apple will be releasing a cheaper HomePod model. The HomePod is fantastic when it comes down to the audio. Series a little lackluster, but the sales for the HomePod currently is kind of sucks. So Apple dropped the price and it's not really performing well in terms of sales. So Apple want to increase the sales by releasing a cheaper and affordable option to the HomePod. Now the report is claiming that Apple is going to only put 2 tweeters on the cheaper and affordable HomePod instead of the 7 tweeters. So if you have an HomePod, this is technically a downgrade. This is just for people who want to buy an HomePod. And I'm curious to see how Apple is going to price it. If they just price it at $100 or even $50 to compete with the Amazon Echo Dot, that would definitely increase some sales. But then again, Siri kind of is a little lackluster compared to Amazon Echo, I don't want to say her name, and the Google Home, especially Google Home. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to make the HomePod smaller. They should. I mean, 7 tweeters to 2 tweeters, that's a big difference. So it might be the same size as a Google Home Mini or Amazon Echo Dot. But we got to wait and see. HomePod, AirPods. Let's talk about the AirPods. The AirPods Pro is set to release next year. Now, in the beginning of 2019, there were some sources saying that we're going to see another set of AirPods, which is the AirPods 3. But now we have a new report saying that Apple is going to release the AirPods next year. It's going to feature noise cancellation and it's going to feature water resistance. And that's about it. And it's set to be more expensive than the current AirPods now, which is the $160, and we have the $200 AirPods. But it's going to basically maybe be just $200 probably. But knowing Apple, they might even charge us $250 for the AirPods now. So we got to wait and see. Are we going to see a design change? I'm not really 100% sure, but it would be nice if we see a nice little matte finish instead of a glossy finish. And I'm also curious if Apple is going to really release Beats-like headphones. When I mean Beats, I mean like the Solo 3s, the Studios. I don't know if they're going to release something like that, but we got to wait and see. They have Beats, so it's like, what's the point of making? Apple is just looking for ways to make more money, man. But speaking of money, we have the Apple Card. Now, Apple came out with an article recently showing you guys how to take care of your Apple Card. And you cannot put it in a wallet. So a leather wallet may cause the Apple Card to change colors. If you put it in your jeans pocket, the denim and the leather is going to cause it to change colors. So it's like, how can you store your Apple Card? Apple, what do you want us to do with this card? Now, Apple is showing us on how to clean it, and you just take a microfiber cleaning cloth and just wipe the card, polish it up, use this as a novelty item. Hang it up somewhere, put it back in the package, because this is the worst way to use the Apple Card. Unless it's your first ever credit card, that's different. Pay your bills on time. Don't be fucking off your money, guys. Don't be fucking off your money. You know, there's a Spanish barbecue going on next door, so if you guys hear some Spanish music, I apologize for that now. But last but not least, just to end out this video, the Apple event has been leaked. So we're going to see the new iPhones and the new Apple Watches on September 10th. So September 10th, which is pretty accurate. I'm actually not going to be here. I'm going to be in Florida, visiting family, having a good time, going to Miami. Oh, I could picture that already. I don't think we're going to see the new iPads during this event. I think Apple is going to do another event in October, which is common. That's when they announced the iPad Pros last year. And my prediction, on Friday, September 13th, we will be able to pre-order the iPhone, the Apple Watch, and I'm not sure if Apple is going to allow pre-orders for the HomePod. Yikes, that's Friday the 13th. And then the release of iOS 13 is going to come out September 17th, which is pretty likely. And then the delivery day, the day that you pick up your iPhone, the day that the iPhone get delivered, or the Apple Watch, September 20th. Which is on a Friday. And yeah, that pretty much concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, I appreciate it with a thumbs up. Comment down below if you guys are excited for any Apple products, whether it's the Apple Watch Series 5, the new materials of the Apple Watch, or the iPads, or the iPhones, or what you guys think about the iPhone naming. Just let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at SimplyPops, and I hope you guys have a simple day. Peace.